YouTube sometimes really, no matter how hard, no matter how nice you try to put your content, they just don't show it to the people that they need to show it to. They just don't let it leave it open. They let the algorithm thing in sort of affect small channels like mine, and it's not fair. Guys, welcome to Entertainment Business with James Silas. Happy New Year. This is the first episode of the year. So I know that last year I wasn't really um as consistent as I thought I would be. But by God's grace this year I'll do better. I promise I'll do better. Um and I think one of the ways that I will, that one of the things that will help me improve is if I stop overthinking. Like, I think that a lot of times I overthink what I want to talk about. I overthink, details I want to go, want to sort of go into the nitty gritty. I really try to be very technical about the things that I want to talk about when I, come or set the camera in my face. But this time around, I think I'm going to cut down on that and just sort of give it the way, straight up the way I feel, and because overthinking just sort of slows down the process and has not been any good for both me and people that like to watch my content. It's interesting how that, sometimes I feel like there are some people who take that time out to really sort of watch the show or watch, the things that I put out, and judiciously, I would say, some people have been very loyal, very consistent in looking out for, my content, and they get to watch, and I really appreciate you guys. For some of you follow me from, my radio show, The Grapevine. You sort of follow me from The Grapevine up to some of you came from, I think, Big Brother, while others just stumbled on my page and, subscribed and have been following. We can do better. You can tell your friends and somebody's friend. And, I also think that YouTube has, also played their own part. YouTube sometimes really, no matter how hard, no matter how nice you try to put your content, they just don't show it to the people that they need to show it to. They just don't let it leave it open. They let the algorithm thing sort of affect small channels like mine. And it's not fair. I'm not smiling. Anyway, moving on. Today I just want to talk about two things. So the first one is, the whole, or maybe I'll touch three, but let me just do two. Let's do two. Baby steps. So the first one is, I'm sure many of you, if you follow the entertainment business or not necessarily the way, the entertainment business is not necessarily about the nitty gritty of the business, music business. It's not always, no. Sometimes it's just, or when it comes to music, entertainment, everything that has to do with our business, more like it. Yeah. Um, Regina Daniel went to take a test. She did a test, I'm sure some of you would have seen it. She did a test um, at a hospital in America to show that she was drug free or that she didn't have any, you know, traces of drugs in herself or in her body or whatever, based on what has the back and forth that has been going on between herself and her husband, maybe estranged, I would say now. I don't know. If they are not officially divorced, then Senator Ned Walker is still a husband until it's official, right? So, for me personally, one of the things I said on radio this morning, I said, look, nobody cares, like, I don't care. Why do people really care to know whether you are clean and, in the line of what you and your husband? I just feel like, first of all, they should take out their business from social media. You see, one of the things I see that has happened to a lot of celebrities or a lot of people is the fact that they think that it's okay to just always throw all their businesses on social media and then not expect people to react. Look, if you're a celebrity, once you say anything, once you do anything that you put out on this public space called social media, people automatically believe that they have a right to air their opinion or to say whatever they want to say. And sometimes the things they say um, are never ever actually nice. You know, I know that Regina was trolled even since the news came out, or since not necessarily announcing, but since the news came out, or since the pictures or whatever it is came on social media, that she was getting married or got married to Senator Network. A lot of people were like, oh my, why? Like, Some people cringed. Some people applauded her. Some people saw that it was about the money. Some people thought it was about, some people, no, I mean, I don't think anybody believed that it was about love or anything. Just as it was about positioning, money, and what have you. And truthfully, a lot of people also blamed her mom, thinking that she was the one that influenced the whole arrangement. So, but that's even by the way. Let's now bring it to right now, where we are right now with her relationship. The fact that this thing is now shaky. One of the things I would never condone or support is, violence or domestic violence or molestation or harassment, however, in any shape or form, um, against anybody, regardless whether man, woman, husband, or wife. And one of the videos that we saw her in distress that she was being malhandled. Um, some people say it's POV and what was shown, but no matter what, later the back and forth, the world war started, and we saw and clearly um, you know got to know that there was no peace in the Zanga. Anyway, long and short of the matter is that she left the house, and Ned Boko has come on social media as well, has been talking about this and that, his own position, also positing that the girl had been has been abusing substances. And, for those of us who just are observers of social media, we don't know. We did not see anything. We don't approve or whatever. But if this is what has been said, both from party one and then the opposing party, well, our part is to be spectating and be looking and be having our opinion on different of people comment. I mean, check this comment section. People who are just going to be saying all they want to say. So, but here today I want to say that first of all, when it comes to use of substance or any drug or whatever, in the system, depending on the type that the person is, and the person is what's it called, indulging with. Drug, they have their duration period in the body, and this incident they were talking about happened sometime, is it November, October. Well, in a while. Now, I'm not saying that it's not the right thing, or her going to do a test to clear herself. Look, the fact that she decided to go and do a test, do you know that it would mean that she had abstained or stayed away from that particular whatever drug it is that they are accusing her of. That stayed away from it for that long for it to be clear in her system and for the result to show same. And it also means that she has been able to discipline herself so well that um, now that she has taken the test, it's no longer in her system. And even if she was addicted to it, let's say she was abusing whatever drug or whatever thing that she would have, she's allegedly taking, the fact that she had taken time to stop it and then go for a test should now give her motivation to not go back to it, especially with the backlash that she would have gotten from a lot of people on social media. So let's look at it from the bright side that, oh, this girl actually has put in a level of work up, made an effort to be better. Now, away from all of this, I think what's very important is the fact that she needs to have access to her children. These are children that were brought in by two consenting adults, and I think that they both have rights to children. I don't think that it's okay for the senator to, um, you know, barricade her from seeing her children or hold, to the kids and like use it to probably punish her. You know, Also, we don't know the steps that she may have taken, because in these type of situations, there are processes or steps that need to be taken to resolve if in the case of resolution, in not necessarily resolving to say they should come back to marriage or whatever. She may have made up her mind that she doesn't want to go back to that relationship or to that marriage, but still there are processes that need to be followed. The court is there to help them resolve or peacefully make them take good position for the interest of the children. So if she needs to have custody of her children, if she needs to have access to see her children whenever or however it is scheduled, those things need to be put into pen and paper, need to be put and signed contractually for in favor of both parties. I don't think it is fair that she is unable to see her children, and so I mean that needs to be resolved. It's very important that it needs to be resolved. So it's not even a case of, like for me, like I said, it's way beyond the accusation or the allegation that she's a drug addict, and then now you want to sue the man for accusing you of. I don't think those things are necessary. I think what's important is to deal with the divorce if you want to divorce, or the separation if you are separating, and deal with the separation the right way, such that it will not really, really scar or mar, or, what's it called, traumatize children in any way. I mean, it's never okay for people when they break up. Or the children are never really, really balanced like that, because sometimes they don't know, they are confused, they don't know what. I mean, especially they are really young. So, but I think it's necessary for them to come to a place of compromise and resolve the possibilities in good time, without beef, without hatred, without going back and forth. It's unnecessary. Marriage is not by force. Relationships are not by force. So once it's not working, fine, you can separate, but still be cordial, still be, deal with issues amicably for the interest of the children you have brought to life. And that's for Regina Daniels. So this one's about Mama Jam Jam. People need to understand that it's not okay to troll celebrities on social media. It's just not okay. I know, I can understand that sometimes you need attention. Sometimes because the guys are on social media, and you want to just hear them say something. You want to see how they're going to respond to certain things that you might want to throw at them. I understand that part. And again, I still maintain that if you're a celebrity, it gives you, and that you're on social media and you put out stuff on social media, it opens the door to people to air their opinion. They will just shall have something to say, either in the comment section, or away from your comment section. It is always, always, always a possibility. So now, this guy called Dami Foreign on X, formerly known as Twitter, had, according to how the story went, been trolling. That's the word that I read. It's not me. I didn't say it. Well, he has always had an opinion about Tiwa Savage. I don't know, either as a fan or just, I don't know. However, it is that he feels as a person, but has always been saying stuff about Tiwa, and maybe this time around, probably, and I even read that at a point he even apologized and said, oh, that he was sorry or something, that he wasn't going to do it. But this time around, he said the post was, he said that why is Jam Jam frowning? That's why is Jamil frowning? That's Tiwa's son. Tiwa took it in a very, very, in a wrong way. She didn't, in fact, she wasn't even having it, and then she took her time to actually respond to this guy. Now, I mean, these things are on X. I really don't bother about, bringing up. You can read it. You just go and Google it, please. I don't. I'm not. I don't have time. I'm not bringing. I'm not putting anything on the screen for you. Yes. So, but what exactly is my take? What I'm saying here is that people need to, first of all, understand that they are human beings. Yes, the same way you're human, you have feelings, you have emotions, you have, there are some ways that people can sort of piss you off or get you upset or make you happy, whichever the emotion that you are going to express when people do certain things. You need to understand that celebrities too have blood in their veins, in their body. They also have emotions. They feel happy, sad, angry, and what have you. You know, I don't think that Dami had the intention to upset Tiwa, but I feel like Tiwa probably had put together all her emotions, all her feelings, all her anger of the things that the guy had done before or said before, and decided to just pour it out for the fact that the guy mentioned her son Jamil. Now, I don't understand, sometimes I don't know what the expectation was when you say Jamil, why is Jamil frowning, you know. I Why can't you just let, who said, or how would you know that Jamil was, have you seen his frowning face before? Have you seen his sad face before? Have you seen his happy face? What do you know about the kid? And so when, maybe if it was someone else that had said or made that comment, it probably wouldn't have been an issue. But the fact that it was this guy and Tiwa now saw it, and probably of what had happened before, and she just sort of went all in on this guy, reacted. Now, the truth is that, you see, let me even break it down in real life, for instance. I'm saying in real life. I mean, it's all real life. Let's say on stage, we've had situations where someone like Bonner Boy, um, you know, stepped on somebody on stage, or reacted or acted in a certain way, to somebody or a fan on stage while he was performing. And you see, you have to liken that to what happens on social media as well. When you do certain things or when you take certain actions, either by your tweet or video or whatever, the celebrity gets to react. You know, the only difference is that on social media online, you don't get to feel it physically. But online, if you read the message or whatever is said back at you, you understand the person's reaction. So, but I feel like what the guy said was not really may not have come from a place of disrespect. However, Tiwa already does not like or does not. I would say does not like you, but yeah, does not like this guy. I want to release so, and it's not even a question of whether she likes the guy or not. It's just the fact that this guy has not been supportive allegedly to her. And so she just feels like if you have to always criticize me and then whatever you start projecting, and then why do you want to just always have an opinion? And why do you want to talk about my son? And I think that's how it just ticked her off the wrong way. And yeah, so another thing I also see is that people on social media, influencers, whatever, the worth or the money that you make on social media comes off the number of attention you're able to pull, trending, your stuff going, going viral, or your whatever you post getting a lot of attention according to the algorithm and the statistics. And when people do this, when they understand this particular thing, they get to go hard on it. They don't care who you are. They don't care how you feel. They just go in and when once they get that attention, they're going to get paid. And sometimes it's really not fair. I feel like you need to respect people's space, whether you are there physically or online or virtually. Just understand that these guys, they have emotions, they have feelings, and you need to respect it. Um, I know. Also saw a post that Tiwa did again about D1. I'm not very sure about what would may have transpired, but I'm sure D1 has said something. And okay, good. That dummy guy as well. I read I read had said something about Tiwa being old. And I think that that's the same thing D1 may have done because D1 has tendency to talk like that. And I don't mean this in any disrespectful, because the guy is not just a comedian, he is um, unfiltered. D1 can just say whatever he wants to say. He can just throw his opinion. Has never been afraid of anybody. The guy just talks. And even if he makes a point, or even if he has a point in the things that he says, I still believe that sometimes because someone like Dion I know has a thick skin. In fact, anybody that's a comedian will have a thick skin because before you get to that point of recognition, you'd have dealt with a lot of backlash. People will boo you. People will think that you're not funny. People will say you're not funny. People, Dion, who even came all the, apart from his own journey in the comedy world, also went to Big Brother. Yes, I mean, if you watched his edition of the show, you know what would have transpired. He did not go too far. Not necessarily not going too far, but yeah, people did. He wasn't a favorite, so to speak. And the thing went, and some people tried to troll himself even after he had left the house. But the guy has a thick skin. He's never afraid. He never backs down, especially when he's able to prove or when he has a strong point against the opponent. So, but in this case, I don't think D1 would have. It's not an opponent, it's just D1 having an opinion about a situation and talking about it. And Tiwa, of course, did not like it. Just did not like it. Because I saw that she put it on a story. People, I mean, it was just interesting. It was funny. As far as I'm concerned, it was funny that she responded to D1. And these days, Tiwa, I see that she's giving them basketballs. So if you give her, expect again, then again. I don't think Tiwa will care. If you're a small fish, she might not care. She might not give you that attention, and She's not quick to respond to a lot of things. But I feel like this season she's not really been having it from a lot of. I think people have just been testing her, trying her, and I think that she has probably just said, "Look, I'm just going to give them back." Sometimes she may not even mean to be. She's not. She might not be angry. She might not really be emotionally down as per what that person may have said. But she'll just feel like, okay, this is cheap, so I'm just going to give it back. Boom, and she'll respond. But that's by the way. I just still feel like people should respect other people's space. It's only right that you respect people's emotion, respect their, how they feel about certain things. If you say something, think about if somebody says it to you. Think about if the reverse was the case. And I also believe that celebrities. I know that you're celebrities. I know that you are you're popular, but there are ways you can find a way to. But then again, I was gonna say you can find a way to sort of keep it some things away from social media. But then again, um, if you are doing stuff or if you are a celebrity and nobody knows you or nobody is hearing from you, how then are you a celebrity? So there probably lies the conundrum. So I think this should be all for the day. Thank you guys. If you watch this show to this point, you must be very bored to have watched me to this point. I will lie to lie. You must have been very bored. I can never understand that you watched me to this point. But then again, if you watched me to this point, tell me that you watched to the end, very end, and I'll know that you are the real MVP. So, as usual, if you stumbled on this page and you did not, or you are not a part of our team, which is by the way of subscribing, if you have not subscribed to this channel, this is your opportunity. It's like an altar call. Step forward. Jesus loves you. Come, 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 come. Open arms. Embrace. Subscribe to our channel so that I'll be at least a bit encouraged to continue putting out this content. Um, yeah, subscribe. I'm also on Instagram, X, and everywhere. James Salas, find me there. Holla at me. Tell me you watch my video on YouTube, and I'll definitely holla back. And if you're in my real world, if you're those of us, if you listen to radio, yes, you can always catch the Grapevine on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Smooth 98.1 FM. I'll see you guys the next time I come. Peace.